Why don't you take a seat right here? So you're probably wondering what we're doing, and that is that today you get to interview Daddy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was planning on something like this, so I have a few questions.
All right, shoot away. Tell me what some questions you have.
Okay. Well, why did you and Mommy move from South Bay to here to start Destiny?
You know, that's an interesting question because we didn't plan it in some sense, but yet we always felt the call of God on our life. And so people told us all the time, don't go to Indio because, you know, churches don't really do good over there. There's a lot of smaller churches and, you know, and you should just maybe go to Palm Desert or Rancho Mirage or something like that. But we just always felt like, you know, if the people are telling us not to go there, or at least the experts are, then that means maybe God is telling us to go there. And we're so glad that we came to Indio, and it has been an amazing journey. It's been literally 13 years. So that's older than you.
Before you started the church, were like all these stores around here?
No, actually, you know, we were like the first thing that came. I mean, there was some other buildings here and there was homes here, but not as much. But people would ask me, they would go, I remember a pastor asking me like, you know, what made you move over there? I mean, there was nothing there. And I'm like, you know, when you saw nothing, I saw a city. And I really believe, baby, that, you know, God put Destiny here first as the seed so that we could fertile the grounds that are here today. And today you have Walmart, you have Winco, you have Marshalls and Ross. I mean, I know you like to go to Marshalls and stuff. And Target, but they're not here no more. I know that's not that good. But at the end of the day, we were here, and I'm so glad to continue to build around here.
And what made you come up with Cross Eagles X?
I'll never forget, I was on an airplane, and you know those long flights. You know, you've been,
yeah.
They're super long, okay? And you sometimes just don't sleep. You kind of run out of watching movies and stuff like that. So I remember I had some pieces of paper that I would always carry some cards in case I have to write something down. And I remember just grabbing a piece of paper and a pen, and it was actually a red pen, and I wrote this cross equals X. And you know, I kind of like to draw, but I'm not like a drawer like you. I mean, you're like an excellent drawer. But I really felt like God was giving me kind of this equation for the church, and that is that if we're willing to carry the cross, then it would equal a life of multiplication. That's what we're supposed to do as disciples of Christ. We're supposed to carry the cross. And a lot of times people sit there and go, well, that has a lot to do with subtraction. I'm going to lose everything. No. You're going to lose. You're going to lose your past, but you're going to gain the future that God has for your life.
I had thought something similar to that about the Cross Eagles X. What I thought about it was that like when like you know about God, you like multiply like what people you tell everybody about God, so then multiply.
See, I like that because then that means that your generation is getting it. All the kids here at Kids Church are getting it because I think the more actually you talk about God, God wants to multiply your life, and I know you love to talk to people about God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
And what was your greatest accomplishment yet?
Wow, it's an easy answer, but may get a little emotional, okay? Because my greatest accomplishment pastoring Destiny Church is you.
And Judah.
And Judah. Yeah, you and Judah. Watching you guys lead worship on the stage. You know, you guys get up every morning, every Sunday at 5 o'clock in the morning. You don't complain about it, but you're excited to get to church. And Wednesday nights, you're here. Even when Mom and I are gone, sometimes when we're out on the road, you guys always make sure that whoever's taking care of you bring you to church. And just to see what God's doing in your life and seeing what God is doing in Judah's life and seeing the growth in your guys' life spiritually. I mean, it's one thing that we have packed out services, we have campuses, and those are all great. But at the end of the day, my greatest accomplishment is you guys. And that is that I get to see you guys really love Jesus. And I know oftentimes you come and, Dad, you guys wake up and I may be walking around praying real loud, probably waking you guys up and stuff like that. And Mommy the same way. But we do that because we love people. And our prayer is that you and Judah, as you guys and your generation takes destiny to a place that your mother and I and our generation never will, but you guys will pick that back up and go further than us, and that you could see how Mom and Dad did it. Not just on the stage, who we are as pastors and off the stage, but to me, what matters is when you see me at home and just being that dad and husband and daddy that I'm supposed to be. And so, you've asked me some good questions. I mean, you literally have me in tears, okay? I mean, you should do this for a living and stuff. I mean, you'd make a good interviewer. But you know what? I got a question to ask you, and that is that you've seen destiny, it's all you know.
Yeah.
You're 9 years old, the church is 13, and you're a miracle child. And every time things kind of get tough, I always look at you, whether you're sleeping or if I'm carrying you to your bed, and I'm just reminded that God does miracles. And so, baby, what do you see? Or where do you see destiny 5-10 years from now?
I see more campuses and more people attending to Destiny.
And so where you see more campuses, you see more people, and that is because you want everybody to know God?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for interviewing me today.
You're welcome.
Love you.